I would tell you exactly, but I have to tone it down. I don't think your parent would want me to do it, and I don't think it's appropriate for me to tell you. Actually, I tone it down a lot, believe me. Anybody else? Yes.
I have two more questions. Have you ever gotten a chance to go back to your home country, and how do you feel about the way current media and documentaries and historians portray what the war was?
Yeah, I went back to my country. I took my whole family. We saw the art house, because you have to understand, I didn't have any running water, no toilet. If you want to go, you picture yourself, you have to go to the bathroom and 20 below zero, you go outside. So I hope you never do, and if you do, you freeze your rear end. Yeah. And it's and it's still there today, the art house. The homes all changed a little bit. I went there twice with my family, and from then I took them to Auschwitz, and I told them, I didn't go into Auschwitz. I told them where to go and to see where I was sleeping for the few days. And they came back, and I can see their faces, you know. But I was outside the gate. I couldn't go in. That answer your question?
Yes. Oh, and then there was one more.
Yeah.
Is it, how do you feel about the way the world talks about wars now?
Well, a lot of people don't believe it happened. You know, and it's always the atrocity continues today in Africa and in Russia and Estonia and all over the world. And the United States has should, and no question about it, we should be a police of the world. And we actually are not. If we don't care for other people, it could be worse, but I don't think not going to happen. Like they separating the children from the parents, that's a no-no. And they do a lot of things, a lot of lies are being told, but the more lies they said, a lot of people believe. Same thing with Hitler. Hitler was telling a lot of lies, and if you keep talking every day, people believe that really actually happened, and you know what's going on. I hope you all gonna stay and listen and be involved in politics. It's going to be good for you, and it's going to be good for our country, because we cannot let it happen, what's going on today. Any other questions? Yes.
What was your reaction to the trial of Adolf Hitler?
Oh, the trial, I saw Adolf Hitler. Yeah, but I was from here today. I saw him. He was really the trial, and the Israeli did a good job of kidnapping him. You know the story.
Yeah,
you saw it. Yeah, that's the truth, and he got what he deserved. But I would see for him to suffer a little bit more. They hung him, you hung him, you're dead, and you forget about it. Very little is talking. But he deserved a little bit more punishment. That's what I think. But each one gets his own. Maybe he's burning there in heaven. Who knows? Anybody else? Yes.
What was it like to be on the train?
To be on the train? That was terrible. So you can imagine on a cattle car, 110 people, 120 people, men, women, together. If you have to go, what do you do? What do you do if you have to go
You just go.
You just go where you're standing or you're sitting. So it's when you get if the train drives 2 days and 3 nights, what happened? So that's why I'm not going into detail. Use your own imagination. Okay? So you didn't have clothes to change. You didn't have no shower. That's what happened. And people survived. We smelled the same, so you couldn't tell one person from the other. And you survived. You gotta live, and that's how we did. Yeah. Yes. Somebody. Yes.
For how long did you have nightmares after everything?
I'm still having nightmares today. Almost maybe two, 3 times a week. I wake up, I chase somebody, I wake up, they chase me, they shoot at me, and I wake up sweating. I never had a week without at least 1 or 2 nightmares. And sometimes it's so scary, it's unbelievable. Yes.
Do you and your family live in North Carolina?
I live in North Carolina. I came over here in 2009. My daughter was a RN. She lives in Raleigh, outside Raleigh actually, and I had a granddaughter. She passed away. She's 42 years old. She passed away this year, and I have a great grandson with her. She had breast cancer, very advanced. She was suffering for a long time, and I saw her about a week before she passed away, and I still can't believe that she passed away. And I still can't believe it. I go to the cemetery, and tears are running from my eyes. But she gave me a great grandson. Anybody else? Yes.
Is it ever hard to recall memories or tell your stories about the one?
In a way it is. And a way it isn't, because I'm pleased you ask so many questions and I can answer you truthfully, not go into really details. And you listen, and if you remember a little thing, I would be very, very happy. Don't hate anybody. Hate is a bad word. You don't like somebody, that's a different story. But hate is a terrible word. I emphasize it constantly. Do not hate your neighbor or one. You dislike him, it's entirely different. But don't hate. Anybody will say that? Is it true or wrong? Okay, anybody else? Yes.
Louder.
How did they decide who would go where?
How did they decide who would go where?
Oh. It was the person in charge, the Obersturmführer. He was a colonel who was in charge of the camp. He is the one who said, you go to the left and you go to the right. He looked at you and he sees you don't look so good, you go on one side. If he sees you look so good, strong to work, you're going on the other side. Now, when they took me away in 1941, they asked who is a carpenter, who was a tailor, who was a shoemaker, who was a watchmaker. My uncle, not the uncle who took me away, but I had 3 uncles. He's a tailor, and he asked them, whom did you work for? He said he worked for the Polish army. He made them uniforms. He said, can you make uniforms for us? He said, sure. So he had it good. They gave him bread. His wife was on the women's side, so he had privileges to see his wife. And when he got bread with some sausage, he gave me some of them. He helped me out too. And well, I'll tell you one gross thing, so you have an idea. You know, when he had privileges with his wife, she got pregnant. Now we're supposed to march in 6 to 8 months. It came to delivery. There were 2 SS women staying in front of her. The baby was delivered. 1 SS woman took the baby and threw it at the wall. Now you know what happened. Now my aunt passed away when I used to live in Boca about 9 years ago, and she never wanted to talk about it, what happened to her. And she had a daughter, and